down into the ground. There you go. And start to slow your breath down. Now, when we are getting ready for a yoga practice, try to practice breathing in and out through your nose only. So keeping the mouth closed and just containing the breath in and out through your nose. That way we control how the energy, the air, the oxygen comes in on the inhale, and we also control how the breath comes out. And this is just so we can harness our breath, harness our energy, harness our power, and use it at its optimal level. Because when our mouth is open, we're losing energy and misdirecting it. So when you breathe in and out through your nose, you are harnessing the power of air, the basic element. And we're using that air on your breath to cleanse and reset and recycle ourselves. So our bodies are like conduits. We are solid yet transparent at the same time. So we absorb just like pincushions much of what the world imprints on us throughout the day. So here we use our breath to balance out our water inside of us. And using that heat that we will create in yoga to move things along as well. So we've got a lot of help. So just listening to the sounds of the ocean, allowing your mind and your breath to sync up with its ebb and flow. Now start to contract your bandhas, pull your pelvic wall up and your navel in towards your spine, lengthen through the crown of your head as you gently bring your chin down towards your chest, gently pressing on the glands in your neck. Very gentle here, and allow your muscles to just fall down your back, melt away, releasing any long-held holding patterns and any stress or tension that may or may not be there. Just breathe into your shoulders and the upper neck and just allow it to stretch. So there's no forcing, pulling, or straining while you're in yoga. You're always breathing and easing into it, allowing yourself to grow naturally. So relaxing certain muscle groups while contracting others. Strong core, relaxed heart center. That way you can breathe easily with no restrictions or constrictions. Breath easily flows in and out. Now let's exhale all the air together. Moving on now. Inhale, circle sweep arms, come all the way up. And exhale right to your heart center. 2 more cleansing breaths. Inhale, lengthening all the way up and around. And exhale, centering it right down into your powerhouse. Last one. Inhale, gathering up as much energy as you can, reaching beyond. And exhale, centering, harnessing, and focusing that energy right here. All right, now moving into cat-cow. Just going to warm up the back. Whenever we're in cat-cow, it's like a diagnostic pose. So we're just going to inhale, lifting up through the chest, and exhale, rounding the spine. So just moving back and forth very slowly and allowing your breath to lead your movement. So whether you're on the inhale or exhale, as long as you are allowing your breath to lead and guide your movements. That way you can stay 100% mindful and aware of what's happening within your own body. Because nobody knows your body better than you, and your body will work with you and tell you where your limits are at, when to push, when to pull back, when to work your edge. And if something is wrong, something needs attention, your body will let you know. And you breathe in to wherever needs that tension released inside your body. So feel free to stop whenever you feel like a kink or something like that that you need to work through a little bit deeper with your breath. So whenever you're in cat-cow, you're just breathing life into your back, warming it up, and just seeing how your back feels today, knowing that every day is different, and just observing without judgment and doing whatever you need to do to release and relieve tension and stress that may or may not be there, of course. But as you know, throughout the day, even throughout the night, depending on what kind of sleep you had, we release tension that gets caught up within the body during those times through our yoga and meditation. That way, none of these lesser qualities, which we're all subject to, we don't allow them to take up residence or harbor themselves permanently within our being, within our body, mind, body, heart. We allow whatever gets stuck in our joints, gets stuck in our bodies, to recycle themselves out using our exhale. So the inhale, you bring more life force, oxygen, and energy. And on the exhale, you let go and allow whatever needs to be recycled out, free. Whatever's stuck inside. We're using our basic elements, the breath, our air, to balance our water, along with the heat that we create within ourselves when we start to move and increase our heart rate. Okay, so hopefully your back is nice and warmed up by now. If not, feel free to keep doing that pose, going back and forth, breathing through it as much as you like. This will strengthen all those tiny little muscles in your lower back at the same time. So tuck your toes and inhale your hips up into down dog. We're just going to walk it out here. Now, if you've been with me for a while, and you know, again, this is a diagnostic pose. It's more about conditioning than it is about flexibility. So let go of any picture that you have in your head of yoga, and just do whatever you need to do to stretch out the body and wake up the spine. So you're pushing forward and down through the palms of your hands. Fingertips spread as far apart as you can from each other, just like starfish. Using your palms as suction cups to the mat as you grip, pressing the knuckles down, gripping with your fingertips. You're lengthening through the arms, pressing the chest back towards the thighs, setting the tailbone high. Remembering to engage your core here, pulling the pelvic wall up and in. Just allowing your head to hang as you breathe deep and free. And you're working through any kinks that may or may not be in the hip joint. Allowing your breath, your out breath, to release any tension that gets built up there. And we're just letting it go and surrendering it out, helping it along, helping to keep things moving along. As we're at a constant flow, your heart is constantly beating. Your breath automatically happens on its own. So we're taking ourselves off of autopilot and we're cleaning out the body, resetting the soul, mind, rewiring, repatterning, and replacing doubts and fears and worries and cares with the sounds of nature. Now come down onto the knees, child's pose, hips down to the heels. This is Wellness Wednesday. So take a deep breath here. And just let everything relax down to the ground. So we're going from all that was in our down dog, walking it out to all that isn't. Relax the muscles now and just surrender. But continue to focus your breath. Breathing in and out through your nose. Or just simply breathing, allowing the muscles to be still so that they can absorb. Now, it's not a tense stillness, it's a relaxed stillness. And that stillness, that relaxed state of mind, that heightened consciousness, awareness, is where you can remain at all times during the day, not just when you're practicing on the mat. Once you learn how to access that calm state, your entire life can be a walking, talking, moving meditation. So continue to keep your mouth closed as you breathe in and out through your nose, containing your energy. Remember to harness your energy using your abdominals as well, so pulling up and simply focusing your awareness on your breath, and then just listening to the sounds of nature, sounds that are happening to you. Observe without. Level out your hips. So sometimes we send the right hip down a little bit too far when we're in this side of half pigeon. So you just want to bring the right hip up a little bit so it's even with the left. And the only reason why we come into alignment, and it's not perfect alignment either, it's just feeling whatever it is within your own body, is so that we can get the maximum and optimal stretch out of the yoga pose for our particular body. So observing without judgment here. We're all of different bodies, different injuries. So just being easy with yourself and just letting go of any picture that you might have of your mind of what you think it's supposed to be, and allowing it to be whatever it is that it is now. So continue to lengthen up through the crown of your head. Now you're grounding down. You're really pressing down through your hands and pressing your legs down into the ground. Now from your core up, you're lifting, if that makes sense. So you're balancing your action, your natural traction, by pressing down and lifting up at the same time. So in yoga poses, it looks as if you're not doing much, but in reality, you're doing everything. You're pressing down and lifting up at the same time. Breathing while pulling your core in. So if you're in this position, you should be creating that heat, that agni, and that fire within you to help balance out your water and allow whatever it needs to cycle through yourself. So you can let go and focus on what's really important. Now you can stay here. We're just going to come into King Pigeon, and if that's a little bit too hard on your hamstrings, then just skip it and stay here. Otherwise, we're just going to breathe the left toes up and just reach back. and just allow yourself to naturally open up and naturally stretch. Let go of all of the mechanics and details. And remember, when I was a beginner in yoga, I was always wondering, am I stretching the right muscles? Am I doing this correctly? And it's not about that. It's about feeling whatever is happening in your own body and just observing it without judgment or labeling it or titling it or analyzing it to death. Just letting go of all of that and breathing and feeling what's happening in your body. Don't worry about which muscles that need to be stretched. Just allow the muscles that are stretching to stretch. Whatever's happening right now, just allowing it to happen, and then moving appropriately within that action, within that moment. So your body will tell you if it needs to pull out of a certain yoga pose. So respecting that if you need to pull out of a yoga pose, feel free to do so. And slowly breathe your way back to center. We're going to come back into down dog to switch sides. So here we're going to press the ground away, tuck your back toe, lift your hips up like this, and then step your feet back together, lifting your hips nice and high, pressing chest back towards the thighs. Now we're releasing and decompressing the spine here. So lengthen by lifting your tailbone up high and then allowing your head to relax. So elongate the back of your neck. The other side, inhale left leg, nice and long. So stretch it out past the toes to activate every muscle in this leg. And exhale. We're just going to step it towards the opposite hand. Left foot, right hand. Knee comes out to the side. And then just sit and lengthen the right leg back. Reaching past the toes. And keeping the hips as level as you possibly can. So you're just going to use your hands in front and lengthen, stretching out through your hip flexor. So for every pose, every forward bend, we're supposed to balance it out with a back bend. And for every time we sit and hinge our hips, like we're in a sitting position, we're supposed to balance it out and counter it with the opposite of that. So that's upward facing dog or pigeon here, where you're stretching your hip in the opposite direction. So I know how hard it can be to back bend just as much as you forward bend, and up dog as much as you are in the sitting position, especially if you're working and sitting at a desk, sitting at a cubicle, or whatever it is you're from, or driving a lot. If you're driving for hours and hours at a time, it's hard to spend just as much time in the opposite position in your body. So that's why we harness the breath and do yoga, because in that short period of time, even if it's just a 15-minute yoga session, it's like you're gaining all this experience. I don't know how much time, but it feels timeless, actually. When I first started meditating, it felt as if I was gaining 100 years of experience all in just a few moments. So just think about harnessing your breath by pulling the pelvic wall up and the belly in, and then closing your mouth and only breathing through your nose, and then relaxing and listening to the sounds of nature. So there it is. Please pass that along. All right, so you're breathing your way into King Pigeon if you like, or just staying up on your hands in your pigeon. Focusing your breath in one direction. Now here I usually close my eyes or set the sight on a non-moving object. That way, when you're focused, distractions will simply eclipse themselves from your view. It's easy to get caught up in distractions, get lost in the past, or stuck in the future, or is it the opposite way around? Stuck in the past, lost in the future. And you see that in others. You can tell that they're kind of stuck in a certain period of time in their lives, and they identify themselves to that happening. And when you come into the meditative state of mind, you're able to breathe on your exhale and let go of that happening so you can move on to the next happenings and be there and rise to the occasion. Being more present and grounded in the now moment. Allowing it to lead you to the next. All right. Slowly starting to come out. So hands in front, tuck your back toes, and we're just going to lift up the back leg, press the ground away to step the feet together. Lifting all the way up, tailbone high to the sky. Now walk your feet in just a little bit. Remembering to press forward and down through the palms of your hands. Starfish fingers far, far, far away from each other. Suction cup, the palms down into the ground, pressing forward and away. Now inhale, come up high onto your tippy toes. And when you do, very gently press the chest back towards the thighs. And now we're just going to walk the feet in a little bit further. Now separate the feet a little bit wider than shoulder width distance apart and slightly turn the toes in with the heels out. And then come into a down dog twist. So breathe your way, right hand, just to stretch and wrap around the outer left ankle. And once you have that wrap, you're just going to straighten out your arm. And when you do, you'll send your right shoulder back. You see that happening. Now send your left hip back. And you want equal weight distribution between the left hand pressing down and away. The shoulders are wide apart from each other, down your back, deep rotation in the shoulder joints. Lots of space between the earlobe and the top of your shoulder. So elongate the back of your neck and just let your head hang. Sending the left hip back. Equal weight distribution here between the left leg, left heel pressing down, and the left hand pressing away. And very gentle grip on the right fingertips around the back of the left shin. Just to stretch out your downward facing dog. All right, other side. So right hand comes back. And you're breathing your way here. Remember, whether you're on the in-breath or out-breath, you just want to breathe it. And let your breath lead your movement so you stay safe. So once you wrap the fingertips around the opposite ankle, just straighten your arm and then twist. And you can see a little bit better now. So once you're open to the side, send your right hip back so you can get more of an even stretch all throughout the back side of your body, especially your lower back, especially if you're working with lower back pain. Inversions are wonderful for headaches as well. So turning your world upside down. Whenever you're upside down like this, your artery in the neck dilates, allowing more blood flow to the brain, so you're washing away old belief systems, worries, doubts, and fears, and replacing them, anchoring your truth into the sounds of nature. That way you can stay focused on what's really important instead of being distracted by problems that truly can be non-existent and created by lesser qualities that take up residence and harbor themselves within us. So we got to get it out, recycle it all out, let it go. Now slowly come back to center. Come down onto the knees, child's pose. So just hips back to heels, arms long. Relax here for a moment. Deep breathing, slow, in and out through your nose. Relaxing your spine, especially in your upper and middle back. Just allowing your shoulders to melt away. far and wide down your back, away from each other. Breathing through any tension that may or may not be there in the shoulders. Just allowing that stillness that comes from that relaxed state, from your muscles being relaxed so much that they become still. So it's not a forced stillness. It's relaxing the muscle until it can't relax any further, or just as far as is comfortable. And that muscle becomes so relaxed that stillness happens to it, if that makes sense. Now slowly come up. There we go. Hello everyone. We're gonna end our wellness practice with our intention now. So exhale all the air out. Inhale, circle sweep up. And exhale, thumbs to third eye center. So here we set our intention at the end of the practice. When we're all cleared out, reset, made anew, and refreshed. So, thinking about what you want most out of the world today and what you want to bring most to the world today. And the source driving your motivation. What is that source that drives you? What's the basis of that? Where does it come from? Or maybe dedicating your Wellness Wednesday to someone or something special in your life. Whatever that may be, let's breathe life into it. Inhale. Prayer palms press up, out, and around, sending that out to the universe. And full circle, coming right back to you. 2 more times. Inhaling, breathing it up and out, away, and exhale right back to your heart. 1 more time, stretching it up, sending it out, coming right back to where we all began. Thank you so much for joining us here, Elaina, for Maui Yoga Live, and we would love to have you join us here in Maui. We have a fall retreat this October. Please check out our website, www.mauyogalive.com, for more information on that. And let us know if you're here in Maui. We'd love to have you join us for a little bit of yoga and meditation on the beach. And feel free to share as well. Please share and retweet as much as you possibly can if you know anyone who could benefit from a little yoga and meditation. All right, we will see you guys at sunset tonight. Aloha, mahalo, and namaste. Bye-bye. Bye, Big Beach. Good night, Joy Anthony. Get some sleep now. See you later. Recognize it, Val? Good night.